And we're live.
The strongman, what's this? Bill Kazmaier from the 80s. There's a story about him. God, that guy's crazy. You should look him up sometime. He's fun. He's there was a goldfish eating contest, like actual fish, and it was for kids. It was for children. You know, like kid eat
were there actual children eating live fish?
It was for to see if they could win.
This was the 90s.
He ate 300 goldfish or something. It's a true story. And
he ate 300 goldfish?
Yeah, he did it because he was hungry. He needed the protein.
Was he competing against children? You said it was for kids. Was
he competing against other strongmen? So he
in the fish eating or in the kid? All the strongmen decided to beat the kids in the fish eating contest.
No, he needed the protein, so he went to a goldfish eating contest and just ate all the fish.
Okay, but he beat all the kids.
Yeah, he beat the kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, other strongmen weren't eating the fish as well.
I picture him at like a folding picnic table surrounded by 7-year-olds who eat 2 fish, and he's at 300 in. I like it. It's a good video.
Oh yeah, we were at like some school fair, you know, those like field days they have in high school, and I was in high school, probably sophomore at the time, and my youngest brother, about 7 years younger than me, so he was maybe 7, 8, and they had a booth where you could buy goldfish, and he was hanging out with this other young girl, and he bought a goldfish and then was like, I'm going to eat it. And it really upset her. And he ate it anyway. And then the rest of the day, all he did was go back, because we were all laughing. We're like, that's fucking hilarious. Keep eating goldfish. And so I kept giving him money, and he would go back and buy goldfish, and then he would swallow them and eat them right in front of that girl. And it was cracking my shit up.
How many?
I think he had 3. I think
oh yes. Which brother is this?
This is my youngest brother. He's a lot of my family's here now, but 7 years younger than me. He's 22 now.
I like him more than you.
Yeah, well, you'd like both my brothers.
How many living creatures have you eaten?
Oh man, I didn't eat any goldfish that day. I'll tell you that. No,
I don't think I would. I honestly feel bad for the fucking fish.
Oh, it dies so fast.
Does it? How do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because the second it hits your stomach acid, like any ability for it to breathe is gone. So it asphyxiates, probably painfully, in your stomach very quickly.
Yeah, but what if there's 300 of them in there and you're like number 301?
Oh. Then it's like a final rave.
You're just flopping on top of the corpses of all your brethren.
Why is asphyxiating so fast in your world? Like Taylor, if I were to say, Taylor drowned super fast when I held him underwater, it's like 4 minutes it takes you to die. Like it's
that's a long time. This is just something that someone told me at some point, and I'm repeating blindly. Is they were like, yeah, there's no oxygen, there's nothing in there. They're just slowly burning in stomach acid, but way before they burn in stomach acid, they're dying of lack of oxygen.
Now I've seen those magicians. I was going to say musicians. Magicians do that trick where they swallow the goldfish and then they bring it back up. But I always notice when they do that, they drink a lot of water with the fish, like a pint of water. Before
those are 2 separate goldfish, right? Like a goldfish dies every time they do it.
So it's the Prestige, but for goldfish.
Yeah.
It's the whole David Blaine act.
Spoiler alert. Anyone who hasn't seen the Prestige.
So Taylor, they're drinking a lot of water, eating a goldfish, and then just not bringing that goldfish back up. It's a second goldfish that they bring back up.
That's what I made up a minute ago. Yes.
You fucker.
Yeah, dude.
They're bringing that fish up. They're bringing him up.
David Blaine is regurgitating that goddamn fish in front of all those black people.
I watched
in all those videos, bro.
That was an idea for a show I had a couple years ago called Black Magic, and it's street magicians who only perform for black people because they have way better reactions than everyone else.
They're so much better. Yeah.
That's an Aziz Ansari joke.
Oh, God damn it. Fuck. Yeah. Well, sorry, Aziz. I just stole a joke from you. My bad.
Yeah, he's a long-time viewer.
Long time viewer. No, it's probably me that heard that and didn't even realize. But yeah, that I think that's a good-ass idea.
Yeah.
I like Black Magic as a show name.
It's a good name.
That's good.
He's like, black people straight up think that you've just done actual witchcraft.
Dudes, I think that sometimes. I was watching David Blaine, and I'm like, well, this is just actual magic. That's how he's doing this. And who was the guy that put a nail through his palm?
Chris Angel.
Yeah, he did it like up close to like other Hollywood actors, and the guy's like, "What? This isn't even a magic trick. You're just putting a nail through your palm, you psycho." And I think he might have been.
Free.
Have you ever seen David Blaine's TED Talk when he talks about when he held his breath for like 20 minutes or whatever?
I think I have seen that. Yeah.
It's so emotional because the thing about David Blaine, he does a lot of different kinds of magic, if you will. There's misdirection stuff and illusion stuff like any other magician does. You know, he's not a warlock. We get it. And then there are these things where he does like these physical feats where he's really doing it. He's just toughing it out. Like whenever he's like quote unquote frozen in a block of ice. Now, of course, he's not frozen in a block of ice. There are 2 blocks of ice around him. He's in an ice dome suspended up really high. He has gone like days without drinking and eating and stuff.
But that's not magic. That's like,
I know it's not magic.
Jackass.
But when he held his breath, the thing was people were trying to like say that he hadn't really held his breath for that long. And he's like so emotional explaining that for like 2 years or something, he was doing these breathing exercises and like this entire fitness program to hold his breath extra long. And they were trying to say he had some sort of apparatus like,
I'm with Taylor. I think it's a scam. I think, he's like, hey, I was going to do a trick where I held my breath longer than anyone. And it turns out that I just happen to be the breath holding champion of the history of the human race. Who'd have thunk it? Me. I'm the best. Oh, and by the way, I held my breath for 17 minutes. Really? That sounds like horseshit to me.
Yeah. And you know what? That whole trick, I remember watching.
He's under the water.
All he's doing is getting soggy. That's not magic at all.
I heard Penn and Teller talk about it, and he's like, the hardest thing about that trick, something I could never pull off, is looking good with your shirt off. The rest of it was all fake. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on that team. I'm on that team.
Yeah, that aligns with what I've decided to believe, so I agree with them.
I just like this magician happens to be able to hold his breath for 17 minutes just because he did a TED Talk. Kyle, sometimes these magicians are fibbers.
Well, and it's not like the whole point of a magician is to do magic.
I mean, he's on camera underwater. There's no bubbles.
There's cameras on all his tricks. That's not unique to that one.
He goes to
but they're illusions. They're like from angles.
Yeah.
Clearly, he's not levitating.
I like when he does those, trying to, I guess misdirection tricks. And then after like 2 missed guesses, he tells the homeless black guy what card he has, and then that guy goes bananas.
Yes,
like, that's what you want. You want to see people freak out with a good reaction. I don't want to watch him hold his. What is more boring than watching someone hold their breath? Nothing. I'd rather watch a colonoscopy.
I mean, that was on Lifetime channel or something. That was not like a network.
It was on Oprah.
Oh yes, they took a brief break from the Men Are Evil movie marathon. And they will hurt you because this is Lifetime. I think that's a family.
I mean, the Guinness World Record people were there. They they monitored the whole thing. I think he did it. I think he just held his breath for 17 minutes.
I'm with Kyle here. I think David Blaine has got some wild breath thing going on.
All right, let's take a roundtable vote here. Who thinks David Blaine faked the breath holding?
I do. I think that was fake.
17 minutes? David Blaine.
He has the Guinness World Record.
Who thinks he held his breath for 17 minutes?
Guinness said it.
Wait, did you vote?
Yes, the people who
show of hands
keep track of world records.
Show of hands.
No, they do shit like the biggest rubber bands. They don't know what the fuck's going on.
It's not that hard to hold a fucking vote.
You think you're sending out the fucking A team?
Would you have a bigger rubber band in the back somewhere? If you don't, then your point is moot.
My point is not moot. I'm saying that how many fucking teams can there be that are going out to investigate records, right? You think they sent the A team that time? No, they got teams all over the place. Some guy in Belgium thinks he has
You're not arguing that fake. The argument is not whether there is someone else out there who held their breath for 17 minutes and 5 seconds. The argument is whether he legitimately held his breath for 17 minutes and 4 seconds. And the people who keep world records say, yes, he did.
If someone put a gun to your head and said, do you think David Blaine held his breath for 17 minutes? Would you say yes? Because that's
I would. Oprah Winfrey show. Have you ever seen the video? Have you seen the video?
Retarded, dude.
Like, don't imagine that he's like, all right, I'm gonna go back here in the water. I'll be back in 20 minutes. He's in a water tank looking at you. Like
he's got one of those James Bond rebreathers or something.
Those don't exist. Those don't exist.
No, that's definitely a thing. That was in the movies.
No, that was a fucking inhaler that they just stuck in his mouth and blew bubbles out of.
How long can Michael Phelps hold his breath?
Not 17 fucking minutes.
No,
you think he's not
he likes
in the business of holding his breath? That's not what he does. That's like how fast. That's like saying Usain Bolt is definitely didn't run that fast.
I just want to put this out there. Taylor. I call this one for next conspiracy theory segment.
I've already soundly convinced everyone that Helen Keller was a retard, and I will be happy to convince everyone. About David Blaine being bullshit.
You're second in the UK.
So you are arguing that the legitimacy of the Guinness World Record system is completely flawed, right? You're saying that an organization of the Guinness World Records can be trusted,
or David Blaine's in their pockets.
That might be true. Also, I'm saying that an organization that will send units out to watch someone pogo for 10 hours isn't the highest, most stringent organization in the land.
They are the only people in the world who keep world records.
Right. Who are the arbiters?
That's not even true.
How many of them have books that are all reflective on the outside that I got for Christmas
that time? The books are really good looking. I do like the books. But then, like, they'll have someone who's like, yeah, that Indian guy's fingernails sure are gross.
Those are the longest fingernails in the world. You find me a long
would be a good bit. What I would like Guinness more is if instead of the world's longest fingernails, they put it in as the world's grossest fingernails.
Now you're getting me on your side.